Okay, so more of the same that we've been doing. So do any of those denominators factor?
The 9.
Yeah. How does a squared minus 9 factor? Good. So we would not need to multiply top and bottom here by a plus 3. And then how about this one here? A minus 3. So this is the first time on these problems, I believe, that we run into something like this. How do we multiply a plus 3 times a minus 1? Yeah, we're going to use the claw or FOIL, whatever method you want to call that, but it's essentially distributing. So I'm going to do this in 2 steps. A times a is a squared. A times 1 is -1 is negative a. Positive 3a. And negative 3. So that would add to a squared plus 2a minus 3. And then somebody else do this one for me. Multiply that out for me. Let's see. Nate, multiply a minus 1 times a minus 3 for me. And so some of you do that in your head with that and add the 2 terms together. Fantastic. I just write it out because I want to make it clear for everyone. So now adding our like terms, we have a squared minus 4a plus 3. And so what do we do next to solve that? We want to get rid of our denominator, right? How do we do that? Multiply by a plus 3 times a minus 3. So this cancels, and this cancels, and this cancels. So our next step is going to be a squared plus 2a minus 3 plus 1 is a squared minus 4a plus 3. What would we do next? We've got some like terms on this left-hand side, so let's add those together. A squared plus 2a minus 2 is a squared minus 4a plus 3. So first, before we do anything else, what should we do next? So it looks like we might need to factor, but let's get our a squareds together on one side. So let's subtract a squared first. So what happens is they cancel. And we get 2a minus 2 is 4a plus 3. And then what do we do next? Subtract 2a. And we get negative 2 is 2a plus 3. Okay, so in our directions, it said we want to check to see if there are any extraneous solutions. So your extraneous solutions are going to be what makes the denominator 0, because you want to take a look at what you get for an answer and see if that would make your denominator 0. So looking back up to the original problem, will this make our denominator 0 if we substitute that in? Thank you. It's copy error. Thank you. So negative 6a. Thank you. Making sure it is. So a is equal to negative 5, positive 5 over 6. So we want to look at that 5 over 6. Does that make our denominator 0? What would make our denominator 0? We have an a plus 3 here. So negative 3 would make that 0. What would make this 0, the a minus 3? Equals positive 3. So it's not 3 or negative 3, so we're good. So that's what you want to look at. I know it's an extra step on that to do that. Sorry, these just take a lot of steps. Okay, on to number 2. What should we do first on that one? Yeah, we want to factor this n squared plus 5n minus 6 to see what it factors to. So how do we factor that? Got an n squared, a 5n, and a negative 6. How do we factor that? Did you say something, Tree? Yes, we want to use the x. Good. So what multiplies? We're in loud space. So what multiplies to negative 6 that adds to 5? What numbers would work there? 6 and negative 1. So this factors to n plus 6 times n minus 1. So our least common denominator is going to be n plus 6 times n minus 1, right? Does that make sense? So what would we multiply top and bottom of this one by? Raphael, what do I multiply top and bottom of this one here by? Good. And then what about this one in the middle? Ashley, what do we multiply top and bottom of this one by? Yeah, n minus 1 again. Okay, so again, we're going to have to take n minus 1 times n plus 4. So do that for me. Brady. Plus 4n or minus 4n? Uh-huh. Good. And then minus 4. And so some of you might do that in your head where you add those together in your head, and that's fine. I just show it all up here just to be clear. So this would add to n squared plus 3n minus 4. And then what I'm going to do is, as I rewrite this, I'm going to distribute a positive 3 or a negative 3 here. A negative 3, because this is a minus, so we want to distribute that negative 3. So really common to make a mistake on that. So that's a negative 3. So that's going to be a negative 3n plus 3. And then we're going to multiply both sides by Hayden, what do we multiply both sides by? Yep. So multiply both sides by n plus 6 times n minus 1, common denominator. And that gets rid of our denominators. And we have n squared plus 3n minus 4 minus 3n plus 3 equals 6n plus 6. So what do we do next to solve this? I know this is heavy algebra here, huh? Do we have any like terms on either side? Yes, on the left-hand side, we've got some like terms. So we want to add those together. These would cancel out, and we get n squared minus 1 equals 6n plus 6. And then what's our next step? Jane, do you have any idea what to do for our next step? Yes, yes, good. We want to factor it. So he recognized that there was an n squared here. So we've got to get everything on that side. So we're going to subtract 6n and subtract 6. So we have n squared minus 6n minus 7 is 0. What multiplies to negative 7? That adds to negative 6. What multiplies to negative 7? That adds to negative 6. Negative 7 and 1, that's right. So we have n minus 7, n plus 1 equals 0. So n minus 7 is 0. N plus 1 is 0. And we get n equals negative 1 and 7. So two different answers on this one. Let's take a look at the original. Will that trying to move it. Will that give us a 0 in the denominator at all? What's going on? Hey, wait. Wait. You don't just walk into a classroom like that. That's inappropriate. Oh, I'm in the middle of teaching. Sorry. I hope you all. Okay, this is more disruptive. I'm very. Okay, these two kids just walked in my classroom, came in, and went to deliver something to both of these two. Thank you. Okay, does these two numbers, will it make our denominator 0? The numbers make our denominator 0. 1 or negative 6, that neither one is there. Negative 1, so we're good. This would be our two answers. Okay, one more and then we're going to stop because these take a long time. Anybody still looking at this? Okay, number 3. What do we need to do to find our least common denominator? We got to factor. How does the x squared minus 4x factor? X times x minus 4. So what's our least common denominator here? X times x minus 4. So we're going to multiply the top and bottom of the 1 over x by what? X minus 4. And then this 1, we're going to multiply the top and bottom by. I'm just going to make it an x squared minus 4x. And so I get x squared minus 4x equals x minus 4 and so what would I do next? David, do you know what to do next? Yeah, and how do we do that? Multiply both sides by? What's our denominator? Yeah, so that's what we want to multiply by, both sides. Good. So x times x minus 4 on both sides. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to write all that there. So what do we do next to solve that? Do we have any like terms on one side? Yes, on the right-hand side, we want to add our like terms together. Oops. I'm going to put it in standard form, 4x squared plus x minus 8. And then what would we do next? I know, really algebra heavy today, huh? We're going to need to factor, so we're going to need to get it equal to 0. So because this has a 4x squared and this is an x squared, I'm going to subtract x squared from both sides and add 4x. So we get 0 equals 3x squared plus 5x minus 8. And then we know we need to factor. How do we factor this one? Got this 3 in the front. How do we factor it when we got that 3 as a coefficient? Yeah, 8 times negative 8 times 3, or negative 24 is our top number. And then what adds to negative, multiplies to negative 24, that adds to 5. What works there? 8 and negative 3. I'm going to finish this up here. So we get x0 equals x plus 8 times x minus 3. What's my next step? Be careful. We got to divide by 3. That's right. Because we multiplied the negative 8 times 3, we have to divide out that 3. So we get 0 equals 3x plus 8. Slide the 3 to the front times x minus 1, and then use our 0 product property. And then again, we want to make sure that that will not give us a 0 in the denominator, and it does not.